Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. So season 4 Reloaded of BO7 just dropped, and with that they added the final endgame act called Operation King Killer. There is 10 new challenges where you can unlock weapon charms, XP tokens, emblems, calling cards, emotes, and a new animated camo. But to get the camo, you have to complete all these steps. Then after you complete every step, you have to defeat the prime target glitch 3 times with Samuels, Wheelin, and Kagan to get the animated camo. So you have to do the final step a total of 3 times to get this animated camo, just like the same with Act 3 and Act 2 and Act 1. Yeah, but let's get into it. But for step 1, we gotta destroy a VTOL with a melee weapon.
What?
Huh? That's kind of crazy. 20 guild tech or human enemies with a vehicle turret. Destroy a occupied guild vehicle with a score streak or equipment. So lucky for me, I have all 3 operators already kind of maxed out. We got Samuels, we got Lynn, and we got Kagan. The abilities and skills I'm gonna be running is the crash cart major ability. So if you get knocked, you can just like res yourself and become invincible for like 5 seconds. I'm just using the grappling hook. And for my main weapon, I'm gonna use the Ion sniper rifle. This is my build if you guys want to run it. Heard it's still pretty good in endgame, so yeah, let's get into it. Hopefully we can do it fast enough. I'm just gonna weaken the VTOL with the Ion and just knife it to death right when it's really low. Okay, we gotta hurry. Come on. Oh my god, we did it. Or comp. Oh my god. Alright, that's the destroy VTOL, the melee weapon done. And the easiest way is just to find a rocket launcher and just shoot it like once or twice and just finish it with a melee weapon. I just did it with the Ion because I didn't have a rocket launcher. So I think we can get the other 2 challenges done with the cargo intercept activity or assignment. That's the turret mission done. W mans are driving me around. We found a cluster grenade. Maybe this might do the trick. Alright, let's see if it works. Pull up on this convoy roadblock. Yeah, that might not work. Oh wait, it might work. I think it worked. Let's go. Okay, so the cluster grenade is the way to go with that. Alright, so for step 2 now, kill 10 fear enemies rapidly with a Molotov, so that's nice. We're gonna have to go find a Molotov somewhere. Kill 3 enemies rapidly with a remote piloted needle drone, so we have to find a needle drone. And we gotta kill 20 enemies using equipment. Okay. Alright, finally found a Molotov from a safe cracker thingy. That's both the fear enemies, or the Molotov one, and the eliminate 20 enemies using equipment done. So now we just need to find a needle drone. Alright, after about like 30 minutes of just spamming activities, we finally got a needle drone. Oh my gosh. So the best way to try to find the needle drone, or like Molotovs, or any of that, is just spamming a bunch of surprise shipment activities. Because it took me almost 30 minutes just to find the needle drone. I'm just doing those alone. Alright. Make sure you turn manual mode on and let it rip. Alright, that should be it. Alright, let's go. What's step 2 done? For step 3, we gotta kill 40 enemies with the Rhino score streak. Eliminate 5 enemies through objects with the Gravemaker. Kill 5 enemies rapidly with the RCXD score streak. Okay. So we have to do score streaks now. That's gonna be fun. More looking for stuff. So I think the best way to get score streaks, if you guys are struggling, is to do the guild checkpoints, and after the checkpoints you locate the supply drop using this terminal right here. And it should give you a supply drop with a chance of getting a score streak. Alright, so we got the RCXD with our first supply drop. Alright, that's the RCXD challenge done. Let's go. Now we gotta find a Gravemaker and a Rhino. Alright, so we found a Rhino. Alright, that is the Rhino one done. So for the Rhino, once you have the Rhino score streak, come over to the edge and just group up as many fear enemies as you can to get this done in one go. Alright, nice. And we found the Gravemaker. So we got all 3 score streaks with the first try. Alright, that is step 3 done. For step 4, we have to kill an enemy with the combat axe equipment from more than 50 meters away. Kill 5 special enemies with an exotic melee weapon. We can just use the fabricator for that. And we gotta kill 10 enemies rapidly with a melee weapon. Okay. So we have to find a combat axe, then we have to do a guild strike to upgrade our melee weapon to a exotic. Alright, found a combat axe already, which is pretty good. Found it from a guild checkpoint. W. That's combat axe one done. Alright, so to get the exotic melee weapon, you gotta do the unknown guild container, and there's a guaranteed one that spawns right here at Winery every game. Alright, so after you complete the guild strike and defeat the boss, you get the exotic fabricator, which you just put your melee weapon in and you can turn it exotic. Alright, that's the kill 10 enemies rapidly. Now we have to kill 5 special enemies with the exotic melee. Alright, that's all 5 special enemies done. Alright, for step 5, we have to be in zone 4 or higher for these next ones. So we have to kill an infestator with equipment, kill 10 VTOL passengers before they deploy, and kill 5 enemies while you are airborne. So the infestors are the bugs that fly. So to kill 5 enemies while you're airborne, you can literally just do it while you're jumping, just to make it easier. Alright, so this right here is what the infestors are. That should be that done. Yup. Alright, now we gotta kill 10 passengers before they deploy from the VTOL, which we can easily just do if we just do this right here. Because it gives us several VTOLs. So we should be able to get this done with one contract. And it's in zone 4, which we have to stay in to get these done. So you just gotta kill the guild enemies while they're on the zipline thingy, or the rope, just like this, right before they hit the ground. Alright, that is step 5 done. So for step 6, we gotta kill 20 enemies with an ability, get 20 kills from summoned dogs, guild bots, or fears. Then we gotta activate an exfil and escape from the location without firing a weapon. Okay, so probably like a melee only. For the one challenge where you need to have like a guild bot or a fear enemy fighting for you, you have to put on the Sentinel Protocol major ability for the guild bot. And for the minor ability, throw on the portal grenade, because I think this is what spawns in like a friendly fear enemy. Just one tapping them. Oh, there's 2 of them. Okay. Yeah, so the minor ability works. I'm pretty sure the major one is also gonna work, so. And it's tracking for both. Damn! Dude is like the main character. Now that is both the ability missions done. Alright, so we got step 6 done. So for the exfil, you literally can only use your melee pretty much for everything. It's not too bad. If you still have that exotic melee, it's pretty easy. But for step 7, we gotta destroy a VTOL before it deploys all its passengers. So probably need a rocket launcher for that. Then we gotta complete a grid takedown activity within 60 seconds. Then complete a guild checkpoint activity before reinforcements arrive. That should be the guild checkpoint done. Yep. Alright, so I swapped to a new character that had a exotic Arrow 109 rocket launcher for this VTOL because I think it's almost impossible if you don't have a Arrow 109 rocket launcher. Ah, there we go. I missed 2 rockets too right there, and we still got it done. Yeah. So I recommend 100% using the Arrow 109 rocket launcher for that part because that is kind of hard without it. Alright, that's the grid takedown one, and then a step 7 done. For step 8, we gotta kill 50 fears with the blood burner ability. Kill 10 enemies with the blood burner ability while participating in a guild strike activity. Okay, so we need an exfil and we need to get the blood burner bike. What's that? So the blood burner bike is a minor ability. Alright, so we got the 10 kills inside the guild strike activity, which is just the container right here. All you need to do is just call out your bike while you're doing this step right here. And there's a guaranteed spawn at winery. It should be pinged right here. And all you need to do is just get 10 kills with the bike. Now we have to kill 50 fears with the blood burner ability inside a nightmare zone, which is now this. And there we go, that's step 8 done. So for that, all you have to do is just drive around this nightmare zone, and there'll be fear enemies that spawns. But for step 9, we have to kill 2 enemies with the same shot from the hand cannon ability. Get 5 long range kills with the hand cannon ability. Then we gotta eliminate 3 elite enemies with the hand cannon ability. So we gotta exfil and we gotta get the hand cannon. Alright, so the hand cannon is a major ability. Flip it. Alright, so this can only be done in a nightmare zone, so just be aware of that. You gotta do the same guild strike thing again. That's 1 hand cannon objective done. So with the elite enemies, you just kind of have to run around until they spawn, which can take a minute sometimes. And before you pull out the hand cannon that kill the elite enemy, get them really weak before you switch to the hand cannon, because the hand cannon does not do that much damage. Just be aware of that. Yeah, that's the second one done. Alright, that is step 9 done. Alright, for the final step, we gotta complete a terminal vector activity. We gotta enter the prime target glitch and defeat the glitch boss. Okay, so I did see a terminal vector thingy earlier, which is a new thing they added, but I think I know how to do it. Okay, so this is what we're looking for. It's called the encryption key, and I think you get it randomly in tier 4 by just killing like guild enemies, like dogs, like the normal guild enemies, the robots. But I just got it from a dog, and I think you can also get it from the HVT contracts. But once you pick it up, there's gonna be a activity that spawns in like across the map. It's gonna be nightmare enemies, so make sure you're above combat rating 45 before you go in, because it's kind of hard. 'Cause I tried it once earlier and it was pretty bad. But once you get here, there's gonna be like a lockdown you're gonna have to survive. So it's like a big lockdown you're gonna have to survive with like waves, pretty much. Then for the for the second part, you have to destroy these like red sensors that are on the walls. And there's 12 of them you're gonna have to destroy. And they can be anywhere inside the building or wherever your terminal is located. And it does get pretty hectic, so be aware of that. And it's getting pretty crazy right now. There's like 10 rhinos. I think we are finally done with that. Oh my gosh. And it also gives you an exotic. Alright, but now we unlock the last glitch location, or the glitch fracture location. But for that part right there, I recommend bringing in Crash Cart and being over like level 50, because that was kind of insane. So at this point forward, make sure to bring in either Samuels, Lynn, or Kagan if you're trying to go for the animated camo, because you're going to have to do this last step 3 times, once with each operator. Alright, let's go in. Alright. This is like the final mission from the campaign. Glitch boss off the rip. Okay. We are frying them. Oh, we have to collect shards. So we have to kill these guys and pick up their shards. I think, right? Yeah. Let's pick this, just take it to the middle, just like that. Pick it up, take it to the middle. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they do so much damage. Let me lock in. So you have to keep moving for this. If you stand still, you're gonna get cooked. Because they the zombie things throw meat at you too, which is kind of annoying. Oh my gosh, that was kind of hard. Yeah, doing these solo are actually really hard. To defeat the rhino on the prime target without anyone being shocked. Is that what that said? Area 2. So just like a bunch of boss fights. This looks like another boss fight arena. Okay, yeah, it's just another boss fight. Oh my gosh. We have to stand in like these spots. So it's like hard points. We have to just sit here for a bit. Alright. So you have to sit there for like 30 seconds and the shield goes down. And you just shoot at it, okay. Oh my gosh, okay. Okay, so it shoots like projectiles, so... I recommend just sitting in this room. Yeah, this room is literally your best friend for this boss fight. Not that. I can still kind of hit you though, so be careful. Let me do one more zone. Alright, nice. Alright. That was kind of difficult. Demon. Another boss fight. Oh my gosh. What's happening? Like missiles you have to dodge. It's not insane at all. He like teleports too. I'm so weak. Nice. Is that it? Oh my gosh, thank God. We got nice with the operator skin, we got a calling card, and we got the basic camo. Okay, that was pretty tough, I'm not gonna lie, for solo anyway. Usually if you have more people on your team, it's way easy, but I'm a solo guy. We gotta do that boss fight thing 2 more times with Kagan and Lynn, then we get the animated camo for Act 4. So this is what the Samuel skin looks like for completing that with Samuels, and it's kind of terrifying. Not gonna lie. This is what the base camo looks like for just completing that boss once. Not too bad. That's way Lynn done, or Lynn. This is what Lynn's skin looks like after completing the boss. Kind of creepy. We just need to do the boss fight one more time with Kagan, and we get the Act 4 animated camo. Let's get it.
You've exposed the true nature of the central commandment. We can't access it through a glitch because it's a physical device we need to locate. The node you just took down was merely spoofing the central node signal.
Let's go, and that's all of them done. Alright, so this is what the Kagan operator skin looks like, and once again, it's creepy. All 3 of these skins are just creepy. Alright, so this is what the camo looks like for completing all of that. And it doesn't look too bad. It's kind of dull though. And it looks exactly like the Act 3 camo almost. But it's not terrible the camo. What do you guys think about this camo? Is it worth completing all 4 acts and completing that boss on 3 different operators to get? I like the blue. I like the blue that covers like the iron sight and the attachments. That looks pretty good. I just wish there was like more stuff going on. It's just like the skulls don't even move really. All there is like the snow looking stuff, but and leave me any comments if I missed any like steps, parts, or anything like that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all.